Hi, I'm Reet Agarwal from Bennett University pursuing computer science engineering. The topic for my presentation is eye gaze detection. So let's begin with the presentation. First of all, let's see what all we are going to discuss in this presentation. We'll be starting with the introduction to eye gaze detection and what it actually is. After that, we'll be moving to the working and need of eye gaze detection. Then the applications of eye gaze detection and the proper explanation of each application. We will be also seeing a demo of one of the application. Then we'll be moving to the problems faced with the model, and with this we'll be concluding the presentation. So let's begin with the introduction to eye gaze detection. We all know, especially after the emergence of this pandemic of COVID-19, lives has been much more complicated. To make lives easier, the demand of eye gaze detection has been increased, as eye gaze detection plays a very crucial role to make our lives easier. And all of you must be having one question in your mind, that is, how does it make life easier? We'll be discussing it in this presentation. First of all, let's discuss what eye gaze detection is all about. Basically, eye gaze detection in simpler words is tracking of eyes, the ability of one's eye to track from left to right in an efficient manner. Let's understand this in much better way. For example, this is a point. Let's say this is a point. We are looking at this point and suddenly we look at that point or some other point. Then this is a gaze. A gaze is created. And what we are going to do is we are going to detect this gaze, like where our eyeballs are looking at. Coming to the working of eye gaze detection. Eye gaze tracking records the pupil of gaze and eye movement in relation to the environment. The basic technique on which eye gaze tracking is based on is PCCR, pupil center corneal reflection. It is the most commonly used technique to perform video based eye tracking. Let's understand what this technique is all about. In this technique, the basic concept is to use a light source to illuminate the eye, causing highly visible reflections, and a camera to capture an image of the eye showing these reflections. Like for example, just see whenever I am looking to the left side like this, you can easily notice I am looking to the left side. In the center, I am looking at the center, and right now I am looking at the right side. So this will be detected using the PCCR technique. The most important and crucial need of eye gaze detection is for people with physical disability. It allows children and adults with disease like cerebral palsy and others to use the movement of their eyes to operate a laptop, computer, or speech generating devices. Nextly, it allows researchers to study the movement of participants' eye during a range of activities, which helps in great researches. Coming to the health sector, it is very beneficial. It accurately depicts natural eye movements and fixations. Coming to the gaming section, it is very important. It increases the user experience and performance in playing game. We can easily perform many gestures, and using eye gaze detection, these gestures can be reflected in games as some function or perform some action in the game. Let's come to the applications of eye gaze detection. Today we are going to discuss 5 segments of applications, that is human computer interaction HCI, exam proctoring, automotive industry, marketing research, and tracking metrics. Now let's discuss them properly. Human computer interaction. As the name suggests, it is the study of how people interact with computers and to what extent computers are or are not developed for successful interaction with human beings. HCI research is concerned with interaction methods which ease the use of computers or increase interaction efficiency. This work describes an eye tracking system for a natural user interface based only on non intrusive devices such as simple webcam. Through image processing, the system is able to convert the focus of attention of the user to the corresponding point on the screen. It looks at how computers are used and designed and how this relates to this use by people. Eye tracking software is then used to measure visual attention and interaction with computer devices. Eye gaze detection plays a very crucial role in automobile industries. In the automotive industries, eye tracking is used to access drivers' visual attention both with respect to navigation and dashboard layout. By using eye tracking glasses, researchers access solution to few of these questions. Where do drivers look when they face an obstacle on the street immediately? How exactly does speeding compromise visual attention? How does talking on phone affect driver behavior? The solution to these questions is very important to curb road disasters. Coming to another important application of eye gaze detection, which even I personally like a lot, that is exam proctoring using eye gaze detection. As you can see in this image of the presentation, that the a person is sitting over there, that is actually me, and looking at the screen, and on the top of it, it is written normal. This means the person is not cheating. If he is looking into the screen, if he looks out of the screen or is detected some cheating is detected, then this normal would be replaced by a warning. Just for example, I'm giving an online exam, and in that exam I'm keeping a mobile phone or a book aside my keyboard through which I can easily get all the answers of the exam. Then this would be very unfair, and I'll easily cheat in the exam and answer all the questions. So to detect this unfair means, we use eye gaze detection technique. Let's understand how do we achieve this. As you can see in the image, we use the concept of calibration. First of all, we set the calibration on the screen. If the person is looking inside that calibrated box, then till then the person is safe. Like, he is not indulged into any kind of unfair means. As soon as he looks out of this calibrated box, this means something mischievous is being done, something unfair is being done. So this the slightest disturbance in the vision of student will lead to a warning. And if he is frequently looking out of the screen, like just for say example, a person is looking out of the screen for 5 to 6 times in 10 seconds, this means he is surely doing some cheating or something unfair. Then a warning will be displayed. This is how exam proctoring is done using eye gaze detection. Let's understand the flow diagram of exam proctoring using eye gaze detection. The flow diagram is divided into two parts, that is building the model and real-time testing. Let's move on to the first part, that is building the model. First of all, to build the model, we need data. So data set preparation is done. After this, after preparing the data cleaning and pre-processing is made. After this step, the data is split into two parts, that is training data and testing data. We use the training data to train the model, and after the model is trained, we check the accuracy of the test data using the trained model of on the test data. If we get a good accuracy score, we continue to real-time testing. Else, we redo this step. Let's move on to real-time testing. Here the very first step is video capturing. After capturing the video, we extract frames, and on each frame we perform face recognition. After recognition of the face, we perform feature extraction to access the eyeballs, and then we point out the points at which the eyeball is looking at. After getting such points, we perform calibration setup. Here, the user is asked to look at the four corners of the screen, and a rectangular box is created as the calibrated setup. Then further frame capturing is done, and then using this data, the CSV file is prepared. Now this CSV file, on this CSV file, using the trained model, we, we make actual testing using the classification metric. If the model is perfectly working, that is, everything is normal, we move on to the frame capturing part after every 30 seconds. And this goes on in a loop. And if there is a doubt of cheating or any unfair means, then a warning is displayed of fraud alert. So this is how exam proctoring using eye gaze detection is done. Just like a coin have both heads and tails, so every technique have both pros and cons. So let's come to the problems with eye gaze detection. So the very first problem with eye gaze detection is the detection of gaze for the people who wear contact lenses or have long eyelashes is really very difficult. How is it difficult is, let's understand. Whenever a person is wearing contact lenses, so the feature extraction of his eyes is really tough. So this makes the gaze detection also a bit complex. Secondly, some calibration time is required before we get the results. So this due to this delay in time, many users deviate themselves from using this technique. Next, many a times the movement of users are very unintentional. Just for example, I am giving an exam. So there might be chances that I look at the rooftop to think of some question or some formula. So this is an unintentional act, but the eye gaze detection will not take it, would not be able to classify it as intentional or unintentional. So there's a huge problem in this point also. Coming to the expenses, the technique is very expensive as the hardware requirements cost a lot. Nextly, it is very difficult to control eye position accurately all the times. Unlike mouse, eye tracker provides unstable output when it does not get appropriate image of the eye in consecutive frames. So this leads to uncertain results. So these are the references listed over here which helped me prepare this presentation. As the fourth point is the documents of the project created by my team. As you know, as I told you earlier in this presentation, I created a project of exam proctoring using eye gaze detection. So we created a document which helped me in this presentation. Thus, after going through the main applications of eye gaze detection, we have come to the conclusion that this process is really very crucial. It not only makes the task accuracy better, but also increases the efficiency of the tasks, be it in any segment, automobile, marketing, examination, or anything. If one person is able to make a perfect eye gaze detection software, many problems in this world will be solved and efficiency in many tasks would be achieved. So thank you so much for giving your valuable time. I hope you liked the presentation.